Are you ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon. Hey, you ever have one of those days where you just want to hang out together on a Thursday night? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Roundtable. How y'all doing? It's Thursday. It's the last Thursday of January. Amen. Hello, everybody. I see a whole bunch of people are in here right now from the UK. Look at my London and UK friends. I wonder why you're here. Team UK, how you doing? I went to London right before COVID. You guys have such a beautiful city. So much nicer and sweeter than us dirty Americans. Well, I know you're here probably because Bianca Del Rio and Layton Williams are here. They are tearing up the entire world. Everybody is talking about Jamie. I've been talking about Jamie. I saw everybody's talking about Jamie 2 weeks ago, their first preview in LA. And it was amazing. The video, seeing them live and in person, nothing is better than that. We are also giving away a UK original West End album from Broadway Records, courtesy of Broadway Records. If you have not listened to the recording of the album, Everybody's Talking About Jamie, make sure you grab it, watch it, stream it. And today, somebody is going to win. Someone's going to win a copy. We have the wheel ready to go. Y'all didn't enter. I warned you all you could win a copy. So someone's going to win a copy here tonight. So we have a big show for you. And I'm super duper excited because I love Bianca and I love Layton. They were both on our Broadway cast reunion series I did over the summer. And that cast, wow. If you're in Los Angeles, you need to check out Everybody's Talking About Jamie. And if you're in the UK and you haven't seen it, I'm sure Noah Thomas and you have to go see Everybody's Talking About Jamie for sure. Thanks, Shelly. Hi, Shelly. It's so nice of you to be here. All right, so let's get started. Can we get started? Because I know why you're all here. And it's not to hear me talk about my nonsense. I know that's for sure. Thank you for last week's show. Last week's show, we had a tribute to Robbie Roselle. Alexis Michelle was here. Len Rodino, Robbie's husband. Jonathan Jamar, Tony-winning producer. We had Laura Benanti. We had Patty Murin. We had Liz Calloway. We had Orfe. And we had Mauricio Martinez from Get On Your Feet. They were all here and it was a great show. So if you caught it, please make sure that you definitely watch it on YouTube. Announcement, we're moving away from the Facebook views because I can't see the comments on Facebook. I only see the comments when they're on YouTube. And I want to hear what you say because when I watch the show back or look back, because I don't want to watch this mess in myself. When I watch this back and look at the comments, I don't see them. So make sure you're watching on YouTube and you could always subscribe and I'll be forever grateful. And if you have a guest suggestion, comment below. We have a lot of great guests coming up. Like what? Should we announce next week? Sure. Next week is a reunion of Ain't Too Proud. So if you've seen the Temptation show and you've seen the five guys that closed that show starring Jelani Remy, James Harkness, Jawan Jackson, Matt Manuel, Nick Walker, we'll have them here, as well as wicked Broadway debut star Dominique Patton is going to be here to tell us about being Anna in Disneyland, right to the big world of Broadway. So next week's a great show. Coming up in future weeks, we have Charo. Coochie Coochie herself, the Love Boat Queen, Charo, will be here, as well as Matt Gould and Griffin Matthews, who have a brand new album coming out, a Merrily We Roll Along reunion, and so many more surprises I have up my sleeve. So make sure you keep watching. All right, before we bring out the stars, let me shamelessly promote myself. Do you mind? Here we go. Here's a shameless plug. 'Cause I'm shameless. I mean, how else am I supposed to just promote myself? Well, if you don't know anything about me, I just felt like I needed to let you know that I perform, and my shameless plug of the week is that I do have an album. It's called Unfinished Business, and if you haven't checked it out, I hope you can listen and check it out on Spotify. Speaking of Matt Gould and Griffin Matthews, I Think He Knew is the original song on there about a dad and a son, and the son coming to terms with who he is and the father. If you haven't seen it, there's a video, and the director of that video, Kyle Bahl, and the lady who helped that day on set, who has helped with all the videos, Adrian Garzillo, is here live at the end of Bianca and Layton. They will be talking to us about the movies you might have missed and the Oscar buzz that's coming up. If you're in a New York or New Jersey area, you can catch me at Green Room 42. I'll be doing the album and a whole bunch of new stuff. Robbie Roselle is going to work with me on a new show, and I'm super excited about it. So if you want to check it out, April 16th, get your tickets because it hasn't been announced yet. So we're going to sell out in seconds. Probably not, but we may sell out in seconds. And I am super excited. Abby Thompson, where have you been, are you in the UK? Are you going to make me fly out there and take you to lunch? I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You are deserving of it. You're deserving of much more than that. I appreciate you. All right. So that was my shameless plug. And the last thing before we bring out our stars today is something I like to call the weekend review. So what happened this past week? I actually am so grateful to Angela Thomas and my team who helps me with my PR. We had a really great, I had a great honor this week of being in the Jersey Journal. I am a teacher in North Bergens, and I made the cover of the Jersey newspaper with this article about me finding my voice and juggling my whole life. And the fact that anybody wants to listen to me or my story is such a blessing. I am so grateful. You know, it's called Unfinished Business because I decided to take a break and not do anything theatrical or artistic or musical for over 15 years. So to be back here at the young age of 23 or 38 is such a privilege. So thank you to the Jersey Journal for showing me that. I also had the opportunity to sing the national anthem at Pride Night with the New Jersey Devils in New Jersey. So that was the arena, the ice, and there's me on the ice. And this is the crew that came. That's my friend Mike. That's my publicist, Angela. That's Samantha. That's Gus. And I got a lot of well wishes and a lot of love for sure from people who were there and had watched it. So thank you so much to everybody who was a part of the love that you sent to me. I really appreciate it. We're going to show you the clip. I'll play you the national anthem at the end of the show tonight. So UK people, God Saves the Queen, you could just mute me and play your national anthem. Is that what it is? I don't know. Will someone tell me? What's the national anthem out there? Do you have one? You have to have one. All right. So also last night I hung out with my good friend, my good friend. This is David Yontel. Yontel hosts a show called Beyond the Velvet Ropes. He's a big into the housewives. So we went last night to City Winery and we saw Sheila E. We went to the Sheila E. concert. Look at her. You want to see a little clip of her? This is a song you know. You love it if you're of a certain age. Not you ladies in the UK. Hey, come on. I felt like being a drummer after Sheila E. You know the glamorous life. Maybe Kyle's too young, but hey, you know the glamorous life. You watch and know Sheila E. and the glamorous life. And Prince, thank you, Abby. God Save the Queen is it doesn't go like God Save the Queen. Ba, 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 ba. No, that's the other. I don't know what it is. I'm going to look it up. Nope. We're ignorant Americans, Abby. I'm sorry. So thank you to everyone. Oh, did you know this? Kyle, who's backstage, Bianca, Layton, did you know who sat next to me last night at the Sheila E. concert? Benjamin Bratt. Benjamin Bratt was right over there in a hat with two friends. And after the show was over, we went over and he was dancing. And I said to him, can we take a picture? And David wanted a picture. And then Benjamin Bratt said, I'm here for a party, so take it quick. So Benjamin Bratt, it's only in New York and only me. Adrian met Benjamin Bratt before she comes out. Adrian met Benjamin Bratt when we stalked him at Live with Kelly and Ryan Regis, one of those shows. Yeah. See, thank you, Megan. They have it. Yes. And yes, I was whisking. Isn't this an official term for drumming, Abby? Whisks. Like a brush. They use brushes, drumsticks. you want to see Bianca Del Rio, I'm sure. Well, before I bring up Bianca Del Rio, if you're having a good time and you're enjoying this messy show, my mom will be mad at me if I don't ask you. The show costs money. We promote the show and we put it up, and this costs, StreamYard costs something. If you would like to send a virtual tip and say thank you, you can Venmo me at Bannon. And thank you, because every dollar you spend, we put back into the show, and we put back into creating graphics and all of this fun stuff, for sure. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate you for letting me shamelessly promote myself and tell you about my week. I'm so grateful that you're here. I love our guests this week. I am so honored to have the queen of RuPaul's Drag Race is here live. Ladies and gentlemen, Bianca is coming up right now.
Because in town, no one is safe. Hope you're packed. Need help packing? Beat it, queen. Now she's kind of grown on me, like a rash. I was very condescending. Remember you, my sisters.
The rest of the world will see that nicer side. Are you prepared for that?
You've been filming this?
Bianca's secretly adorable in a certain way. Like, she's the type of person where you, like, want to hug her, and she's just like, get away. Like, it's very that, but she loves you.
My name is Bianca. I'm from the deep south. Oh, them bitches can't handle my sassy ass mouth. You like that?
I made that shit up today.
I will show you versatility when Santino wins a sewing competition and Visage wears a turtleneck.
You didn't put that harsh white line.
I didn't put it, but I did snort it.
All right, at least it was used.
That's why I'm alert, girl.
Yeah.
That rapid fire, quick wit, did you always have that?
I call it my little Rolodex of hate. So when you're faced with the situation, you just roll through and you go, what do I have? What do I have? I know what you got on your SATs. Ketchup.
I have been waiting for a queen to do Judge Judy.
It does help that I'm a judgmental bitch, too. That does kind of help.
Baloney!
Baloney! I have no problems!
I hate you. I hate you. It bears repeating.
My best drag is old Hollywood, and I'm feeling like a bitch who just buried her third husband. Have you seen me? I'm clown realness.
All right, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages, everybody is talking about Jamie. It's at the Ahmenson until February 20th. And right here, one of the stars, the legendary Miss Bianca Del Rio is here.
You know, the word legendary is always saved for somebody old. So I've had to embrace this now. I go, 46 and legendary. I haven't done a damn thing.
Listen, you are the hardest working queen in show business, for real.
Well, the grateful thing is I'm grateful to get to work. And especially after these past 2 years with COVID, it's like, you know, I'll take any gig there is. But
congrats. I was at the Ahmenson for the first preview. I was dancing literally in the aisles. You guys are going to blow the roof off of Los Angeles.
Well, thank you. It's, you know, it's an amazing opportunity to get to do a show like this because, you know, normally I'm traveling with my own show, stand-up show, and our director, Johnny B, has just been amazing to me because this is the third version of the show that I've done. I was lucky enough to get to do it in the West End about 2 years ago. And then I enjoyed it so much, I went back again. And then they asked me to be a part of the UK tour, knowing that it would come to Los Angeles. So I'm just excited that this brilliant story about a boy in a dream gets to be told to an American audience live on stage. And we get to live it each night, which is just kind of so amazing because my roots were based in theater. So to get to come back to it and to get to be a part of this amazing, talented cast, it's just a dream. You know, it's unbelievable.
Well, there's no lip syncing in this show. You are singing.
8 shows a week. 8 shows
a week.
8 shows a week.
You sound beautiful. You play the Loco Chanel.
Yes.
And, would you like to tell a little bit about your part in the show?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, what happens is I'm actually a guy by the name of Hugo, who is kind of a drag queen who had success in their life. And then things didn't go so well and ended up back in Sheffield, England, and basically was running a shop, so to speak, or a thrift store, a vintage store, a consignment store, and just kind of living this humdrum life where this young boy comes in and says he wants to be a drag queen. And it kind of sparks new energy in Hugo and kind of changes his life. And it's one of those moments when you can then be the mentor to them, and also just give them all the advice and all the information of someone wanting to be a drag queen. So he kind of lights this fire within my life, and I help him on his drag journey. But along the way, I also get to return as my former self, which is Loco Chanel. So I have a great scene where I get to show up as that, which is wild because for me in general, when I first thought about it, I'm like, well, you know, especially since I don't consider myself old mentally, when I was asked to play the elderly, generous drag queen, I thought, oh my God, I am old enough to do this now at this point. So it's just nice to be there to help and to nurture, because I've had many people in my personal life that have been a Hugo to me, and also to get to share the stage with the brilliant and the amazing, and I can't give him enough applause, Layton Williams is a dream, a complete dream.
Star. What a star. What a star. Well, one of the most beautiful things I saw while I was in the lobby during intermission is that your show is attracting such an inclusive audience. It's a place where everyone feels comfortable and at home, and it's a community of people that are just there to cheer on their own diversity. And it was just so touching to me to see kids and adults and parents. You must see that in the audience every single night.
Yes, and you know what's also amazing too, when you think about the show, it's kind of, I mean, I don't want to say the word revolutionary, but I mean, it encompasses so many different facets and aspects. Yes, it does deal with a boy who wants to be a drag queen, but the basic story is it's someone who had a dream, and he has a group of people around him that believe in him, you know what I mean? And to have, you know, a Muslim girl playing a lead role, that never really happens in musical theater, which is amazing. The cast is completely diverse. Everybody is from someplace else, and everybody has a story. And I think it's brilliantly told, and that's a huge credit to our director and our writers and our you know, the music that just tells this amazing story without being too preachy, which I think is what really attracted me to the project.
Sure.
Is that it has this amazing message. He's got these ups and downs that happens, but then the journey in the end is that everybody believes in it. And if you believe in yourself, I know this sounds kind of corny coming from me, but it is that sentimental side of it where, you know, if you apply your life and if you surround yourself with the right people, or you find your tribe, you can succeed. And that kind of is the message of the show, you know, and it's really for all ages. And I mean, we see so many different types of people that enjoy it and don't know what to expect, especially if they see a poster with my face, they assume it's a drag show. But that's a small fraction of what it's about.
Well, I was so thrilled to be able to see it in person. I've watched it. We've watched it. We've listened to it. I've been listening to the soundtrack at the on the elliptical machine all week long.
It gets in your head. Yes.
In my head, out of the darkness into the spotlight, over and over and over again on repeat. Bianca, you are going to be here. You're going back to England. You're doing a tour. You're going to be all around the world, so we can check you out.
Yes, yeah. Well, what's happening is we're doing the show here at the Ahmenson Theatre, and we'll be doing it for 5 weeks. We open on Friday, which is amazing. And also the show, if you want to get tickets to the show, it's at thecentertheatregroup.org while we're here. And then following this, I go back on the road to do my solo tour, which is called Unsanitized, which I'll be traveling all over Canada, all over Latin America. Then I go all over the UK, and then I do Asia, then I do Australia. So we got a lot going on. But right now, this has been an exciting moment, and also just to be home in Los Angeles for a hot minute is kind of great. And also, you know, a lot of the entire cast is from UK based that is being brought to America, has been brought to America, and this is their first taste of America. So it's been amazing to see their reaction to basically everything from the streets to a big gulp to a value meal at McDonald's. I've been introducing them to the world. Yes, I know. Same thing here. They are fascinated by all of it.
Well, be safe. Keep them out of not too much West Hollywood, Bianca.
Oh, no, I have an adventure there.
I wish you nothing but the best. Everybody's talking about Jamie is at the Ahmenson Theatre till February 20th. It's always an honor and a joy to see you, beautiful.
You are far too kind this early in the morning, but I truly appreciate it. And thank you for coming to support the show.
My goodness. Have the best run. Be safe, and so much love to you. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Great chatting with you.
Me too. Well, there you had it. Her show is amazing, and she is amazing. And there was a little bit of a delay, and I caught the end of it, and we had to record it, but we made it happen. It was a little technical problem behind the scenes, but Bianca, thank you for giving us their time. They gave us They gave us that moment. They gave us that time before she's got to get ready to go do a show tonight. So we had to get her on there, and she will be doing her solo show. She's going back to the UK. So Megan, you got to go check it out. Melissa, she's watching and she sees all of your comments right now for sure. I saw the show. I loved the show. I'm going to tell you about it in 1 second, but we're going to give away a cast album thanks to Broadway Records. Broadway Records is giving us the West End cast album. Everybody's talking about Jamie. Let's give one away. Can we give one away? Let's do it. Should we do it? Here we go. Let's spin the wheel. And we're very high tech here all of a sudden. I don't know why or how this all happened. And yes, maybe Casey's Journey. Casey's Journey is our lucky winner, and she's walking away with a cast album for free, courtesy of Broadway Records. So if you'd like to stream it, let me tell you, I'm not kidding. I was on the elliptical machine. Firstly, Bianca's voice is amazing. Bianca is in drag in the show. The Ahmenson is a gorgeous venue. If you're in the West End, see it in the West End. But if you're in LA and you can get to Center Theater Group right down next to Disney Concert Hall, and you can see this show, not only will you see solo personified drag race queen Bianca Del Rio in drag singing, not lip syncing. There is someone who is starring in Everybody's Talking About Jamie, who was just on James Corden 2 nights ago. James Corden to my basement. Layton Williams, UK. You've been hiding Layton Williams. She can sing. You've been hiding Layton Williams for a long time, but I think the world has him now because Layton Williams. Don't worry, Melissa. You're in Ohio, so you won't be able to hear her sing, but you will. You have to check it out. She's so good, and she'll be on tour, and you'll have to see it. You've hid Layton Williams, but I think he's the world's now because this kid is going to be a star, and he's backstage waiting for you right now, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at this guy. Wow.
And nothing's going to stop us from coming. Out of the darkness, in the spotlight, there is a new star, shining so bright. Out of the darkness, in the spotlight, there is a new star. New star. Over the wall, over the wall. I can't believe I have it all. So I keep climbing and climbing and climbing this wall in my head. When you're all like 32, you all remember Jamie knew the kid who learned to fly. No, maybe I'm it. We don't even know. So I'm late. I'm late. We don't even know. To be. And I'm moving high. What I got. Yeah, you have not.
Everybody, we have Jamie himself, the star of Everybody's Talking About Jamie. Layton Williams is here. Hello. Hey, friend. How are you?
Bobby, how are you doing?
I was there last week. Here's my program. You blew me away. My goodness. Your presence and charisma, that voice, the dancing, everything. What a tour de force performance, Mr. Williams.
Thank you so much. Felt the love. It was really special. It was so nerve-wracking. It's like almost I hadn't done it before. It was like a whole new, well, it is a whole new show. So, you know, we're bringing it here in Los Angeles, and I was just surprised that you lot even understood a word I was saying, to be honest. Not that you're like, don't speak English, but you know what I mean? Northern accents can be quite funny.
No, but it's so clever. It's so funny. What moved me so much, and I was talking to Bianca Del Rio earlier, that the inclusiveness and the love in that building, the kids and their parents of all different genders and races and everything together, just showing love. The show is just one big hug. That's what it feels like.
That's what I hope that people take away. They feel like their hearts are just growing like a little bit more when they exit the show and they, you know, skip out into the streets with a smile on their face and just think, do you know what? We've got like one life to live. It's not a dress rehearsal. We've got to go out there and just be us, be who you want to be, you know?
Absolutely. Well, how's Los Angeles been treating you?
I mean, look at this view that I have every morning when I wake up. It's iconic. The sun is shining for us. Look, we've got them blue skies now because it did try us this past couple of days with the mist.
I know.
Thank you. I came here for rays and a tan, okay? Honestly, soaking up every single last second. I'm having an absolute ball.
Well, I know that you're a big advocate and you've done a lot of work with bullying. You've done a lot of work with causes of inclusivity and with schools, and you teach and workshops and all of that. What do you think the message, and you know, the story of Jamie, it's based on a true story and you get to be that person. What I loved about the show is it's not a coming out story. Jamie knows who he is. Jamie is unapologetically who he is. What is the message that at the end of the show every night when you look in that audience and you do that final number that you hope the people in that audience leave with?
Well, we sing "In This Place Where We Belong," and especially after the couple of years that we've all had in this pandemia, in this wild world, I feel like, you know, we all should never, ever take a second for granted. You know, this week has really taught me that as well. You know, I think we should just go out there and live, and to be your true, authentic self is just so important. You know, living a lie, living like you shouldn't, like, there's a line in the show that Pretty says, she says, stop waiting for permission to be you. And why are we waiting for somebody to turn around and go, oh yeah, that's okay, yeah, you can do that? Like, no honey, we can't be waiting for anybody to tell us, you know, anybody's business. We've got to go out there and just do it. So I want people to feel that. I want people to feel uplifted. I want people to be inspired, and I want people to feel hope. That's what I want.
Well, I sure felt that. I sure felt that way when I left the theater that day. Your cast with you is so bananas fantastic.
They're insane. I feel so supported by everyone. Listen, it is everybody's talking about Jamie, but everybody's talking about everyone on that stage, like Bianca Del Rio, my amazing mum, Mel. Every single person in that cast, crew, creatives, behind the camera, in front of the camera. Listen, you don't want to see what's going on in this room. There's people here, there, everywhere. I've just got edited by my new barber, Jazz. She's been killing it. Look at this fresh cut. Fresher than I've ever had before in any interview.
Shaped up. Shaped up. Shaped up. You are in LA now. Well, you talked about the... That's right. I just have to give a shout out to Melissa. Melissa, your mom in the show is so... Wow. House down. There's not a dry eye in the house when she takes that center stage and delivers her song. It is such a great, it's only here till February 20th. So you have to grab your tickets. Look, I only have one, Dan and Tom, who wrote this show. My one complaint is 32 is not old, Layton. I feel like an old man when you're old, like...
And when you're old, like 32, listen, if it makes you feel any better, I'm not far off that age, so hey ho.
At least you're on the younger side. What happens when you're on the older side?
Actually, when we're in the West End, one of the cast members who played Dean actually turned 32, and I remember singing that lyric to him and being like, girl.
Well, I know that this is just the beginning for you. You are gonna be on some journey in the next few years. The world is literally your oyster. I can't wait to see you just shine and fly. Truly.
So much. It means a lot. I feel so welcomed by all you Americans. I'm pinching myself every time I see a poster of my face. 250 plus I've heard today all around this city. So yeah, I just really hope that everybody embraces Jamie. We love it so much and we feel so proud to be here. So come and support our show, and I can't wait to see you.
It's true. If you're in Los Angeles, you can't miss his face. Is literally, it's 100 feet tall all over Los Angeles. Everybody go check out Everybody's Talking About Jamie, the hit musical for today up till February 20th at the Ahmenson Theatre. Layton Williams, it's so good to see you again, my friend. You are the light, sir.
Thank you. Mwah.
Mwah. So much love, and I will see you real soon. Thank you.
Bye.
I got the dreams, I got the style, I got the moves to make you smile.
Everybody's Talking About Jamie, the West End hit musical sensation about acceptance, friendship, and the power of unconditional love, is a glorious tribute to what makes us human. A joyous punch in the air, and what everybody's talking about. Step out of the darkness and into the spotlight at Everybody's Talking About Jamie, starring Layton Williams and Bianca Del Rio. North American premiere at the Ahmenson Theatre, January 16 through February 20. Tickets on sale now.
We're in a little 32, man. Y'all watching? Wait till you're 32, UK friends. Is he not a superstar? He is going to be a superstar. He did the reunion with us. He is going to be a superstar. Abby, I feel you. Listen, if you're watching this, the songs in that show have been in my head. I have been at the 24-Hour Fitness in Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey on the elliptical machine, singing those songs over and over and over. The show just makes me happy. Thank you to Broadway Booking Office for letting us steal Bianca and Layton for a few minutes. If you're in LA, you can get to LA, go see Everybody's Talking About Jamie. I had a blast. And I can't wait to see what happens to Layton. And I can't wait to see Bianca. Bianca, come back to New Jersey and New York. I want to say, hey, girl. I have a confession. I had never watched Drag Race. I know. But I have watched this season. I've watched the season so far. I've watched all the episodes. I love it. It's ridiculous. Thank you so much to Bianca and Layton. So don't go anywhere, UK. Don't go anywhere, friends in America and around the world. We have two expert entertainment guests for you. Firstly, coming up, Kyle Bahl is here. Megan, I feel you. I passed 32 a long time ago. Kyle Bahl is here. Kyle Bahl, and if you've ever seen anything that I've done or watched any videos that I've done, it's probably because Kyle Bahl had something to do with it. Look, he's a director. Look at him directing. He looks so professional. He even wears the bandana over his head to look like he knows what he's doing. He's going to be here right now. He's a movie person who loves movies besides shooting movies and being an actor and everything. And he's watched like 172,000 movies this year, and he documents them all and keeps an OCD list of them on some app. I don't know, Kyle Watches Movies app.com. Kyle's going to be here. But first, if you would like to see, look at us. How cute are we? Look at us. We look like we're having fun. Meanwhile, under my breath, I'm threatening him with harm. We're gonna have Kyle's gonna tell us about some of the movies, but first take a peek at what it's like to work with Kyle Bahl.
We're still shooting because Kyle is one of those directors that likes things to be done well. See him? It's a wrap. Is it a wrap?
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Till tomorrow. We did it.
Day 2 in the books.
Day 2 in the books.
Yeah, baby!
He's the man. We're filming watch, we're gonna be here all day.
All day.
We have 15 hours of footage for a 3-minute music video.
It's never gonna end. I'm just looking for an excuse to hang out with Robert.
Now you have it. Now you have your excuse. Hi, Kyle.
Hi, Robert. This is the goal. I've made it. All the videos, all the projects.
You need to raise your goals.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh my goodness. Well, when I thought of you, when we were talking about movies and this year and the past year and how much movies are streaming and everything, there's only one person I know who takes watching movies more serious than Adrian, who's coming on later. It's you. Like, you have firstly, you're an incredible actor. You're going to say that you're going to be very humble. You're an incredible actor. We went to acting school together. We have worked on a bunch of projects throughout the years together, but you take watching movies. You are, I would like to say, a connoisseur of the movie.
I love cinema, it's everything. You get the acting, you get editing, you get music, you get sound. You're in a loud theater. It's just overwhelming. It's cinema.
Well, Well, I hear you, and you are somebody who has done shot your own. You write, you do a little bit of it all. And so when you have watched movies, what do you personally look for when you watch a movie?
Honestly, I give me an experience. I want to be taken somewhere. You know, I think we're all. Sometimes people get overwhelmed, like, oh, I know you watch a lot of movies. I don't watch a lot of movies. It's like we all are so hyper aware of media and the techniques of cinema are in everything. They're in the TikToks we watch. They're in the Instagrams you post. Like we all are now hyper aware editors and keen viewers. So every time I watch a film, I want to give myself over to the filmmaker and see what they were going for and experience it. My least favorite criticism is like when someone's like, I didn't want that. That's not what I wanted. Well, you were presented it. It's okay, you know.
Well, and it's the director's vision and the writers and the actor's job is to do the work of the director, which is why I'm not a great actor because I don't really follow direction. But
if you want
to see
actor.
If you want to see a piece of cinematic masterpiece, you can Google search I Think He Knew, and you can look at this shot. Do you see this beautiful? Oh, well, cut Kyle right out of this view and just look at me. No, look at us. Look, my music video, Kyle. We spent a weekend together and made that. It was the greatest shooting. Honestly, I learned so much about camera work because you really have a vision and an eye, which is why I'm so excited to talk about some movies that people may have missed or that have happened this past year. Because with COVID, I feel weird this year. People don't go to the movie theater, even though me and you did.
Yeah,
we went to the movies. Like a packed movie theater with people right on top of us, Kyle.
West Side Story. I thought it was quiet. You know, the box office numbers weren't great. I thought we'd be by ourselves, but no.
No, Kyle, we went to the movies on New Year's Day and we said no one's going to go. And then Kyle left me and his girlfriend for dead and went and sat in the back of the theater by himself, far away from everyone else. And poor me and Alex were left to be dead in the middle of the theater together. Would you like to comment on that?
Here's how much I care about the cinematic experience. If I have to run out and use the restroom, then I don't want to go back in front of people to come back in. It was a dark theater, you know, it wasn't very well illuminated, but I want to, and then I just sat in the back. And, you know, I want to see if people are leaning forward or they laughing, they're sitting back. I want the whole experience, you know?
Well, I get that. I mean, I laughed at the West Side Story throughout the whole 3 hours. It's just such a comedy.
Jolly film.
Abby says that clip was so calming. Well, Abby, if you know me and Kyle outside of that clip and that viola music, there's probably nothing calming about either of us. We're like tornadoes. But thank you, Abby. Kyle, tell me the movies that we should be watching this year. Would you like me to just run down them? I have movie posters. Would you like to see them?
Pull up stuff. It was a great year. I watched 200 films. Whoa, we're starting hot and heavy. Love it.
What is my mother is watching this non-nipple movie here. What is Vendetta?
Vendetta, okay. So this is the exact opposite of Encanto. Vendetta this is one of the last films I watched of the year. And talk about making me feel something. This movie is not for everyone. It's the kind of movie that all I do is try to protect Robert, please.
That's true.
Look, it's based on a true story. So Paul Verhoeven is kind of like a controversial filmmaker, like a European filmmaker. He came to America and did his Hollywood movies, and they were all kind of like quietly very interesting, like Basic Instinct, RoboCop, Starship Troopers. Like these are films you can. Like Starship Troopers sometimes gets labeled as this B trash movie, but like if you read it deeply and you listen to Paul Verhoeven, it's like he's talking about American, the military system in America, and he's a fascinating.
He discovered then Casper Van Dien, so he's an national treasure. Well, where Vendetta is streaming? Is it streaming? I think it's on Netflix.
Streaming,
or is it somewhere?
You have to pay for it. It's the easy rent. Just the last thing I'll say, he is a historical scholar, so everything on Jesus, and so everything in there is very well researched, and then it gets very pulpy. I enjoyed it.
I can't wait to see it. It's a recommended. You recommended it. Was that your number one pick this year?
Thumbs up. Not my number one. I think I put it at
thumbs
like
up.
number 10 on my list. It snuck in there right at the end. Yeah.
Okay.
It was number 10 for me.
Well, what's this movie?
Card Counter. Oh man, Paul Schrader. You may know Paul Schrader as the writer of Taxi Driver. He basically makes one movie over and over again. It's about men who sit in a room alone with a diary and then do something very dangerous. Kind of psychotic characters. A couple of years ago, he did First Reform with Ethan Hawke, which is a huge recommendation. These films are like beat by beat the same thing, but they're always enjoyable. As you know, I went to college in Las Vegas, and I'm a big poker player. So a film that takes place in a casino, I
love them.
Right away.
I mean, I don't think there can be anything more exciting than a movie produced by Martin Scorsese and Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish doing a dramatic role, like it was a little
she's great.
Passing her versus her with Oscar Isaac in scenes. They have such different acting styles, but it's great to watch.
You sold me. Honestly, I'm fascinated. I love gambling movies. They're some of my favorites. All right, let's get this out of the way. There's a lot of musical theater fans here, and if I have to hear my elementary school's band play this damn song anymore, tell me why you loved Encanto. Tell me why'd you love it?
No. This, how can you not love this one? Besides the fact that the music is just, we don't talk about Bruno's number 2. It's a bop. Like the music is really enjoyable front to back, but the animation is incredible. Disney's gone to another level, and it's like Disney bought Pixar, and it's kind of like they learned the best techniques from them, and it's just gorgeous to look at. You could watch this thing on mute, but why would you? The music's incredible.
Well, because Lin-Manuel Miranda needs money, apparently. I haven't watched it. I promise you, I will watch it this weekend in the snow in the Northeast. I'm going to watch it for sure. This next movie is a Kyle Bahl movie. Before I even knew this movie existed, it just screams you. Tell me about The French Dispatch.
Okay, French Dispatch goes into this category that a lot of films that kind of surmise 2021 for me, where it's like directors we know their work, we know their particular style, and it's just like, a triple for them, to use a sports analogy. Like it's a solid entry. It's not the best they've ever done, but it's a great watch. So if you love the Grand Budapest Hotel, this is there for you. If you love Moonrise Kingdom, or pretty much any Wes Anderson film, Bottle Rocket, this is here for you. Royal Tenenbaums, this is there. Great ensemble cast. It's a lot of fun. It's his style all day long.
800 famous people are in it because he's in it.
And that's the thing.
He directed
working with him. He just sets up a house that like people come and live in Europe and like just make the film with him. Like he really sets up the community.
Well, I think this next film was your favorite. Is this your favorite?
This is my number one. Talk about like transporting me somewhere. This is epic. It's a word that gets overused a lot, but this like took a simple old myth and took it out piece by piece. And look, something like The Lord of the Rings, which I know a lot of people are fans of, I think they're well-made films. I never really connected to the story, partially because there's a lot of people. I can't keep track of names when I watch any movie. If there's more
I never watched them.
I can't keep track. I need like a simple, straightforward, this was that. It tells you a monster shows up, telling me he's going to be beheaded, and then he goes on a journey to find out whether it's going to happen or not. Dev Patel, this was the best performance of the year, some of the best cinematography. It is a slow burn. If you're into that sort of thing, if you can't do a slow burn, this may not be the pick for you. Yes, Abby.
Abby in the UK, who was the one who schooled me on God Save the Queen, which is my Drag Race song, actually, tells you it's an elite movie. Thank you, Abby.
Look at should be the next Bond. It may or may not happen. I almost don't want it to happen so he can keep making interesting films like The Green Knight, as we saw. Bond nearly broke Daniel Craig as a person. He's so exhausting from doing all the action in that, but
I love it. All right, tell me, I had to look. It was hard to find a poster for this next movie because you dug deep for this one. What is inside?
This is okay. So I was completely ignorant to Bo Burnham and his career. So Bo Burnham, during lockdown, he made this film. He shot it by himself. He writes, it's his style, which I've come to learn is doing kind of little musicals, but they're always contemporary. They're always about like being a millennial, being with technology. He directed 8th Grade a few years ago. If anyone saw that film,
Okay, I did.
He has a very honest connection with young people and how they speak and how they are, being infected by social media. We all kind of know what's happening. Like this thing is bad for us, but we're all addicted to it. Oh, thank you, Abby. But Inside, no, he doesn't. It's on Netflix. It's a great watch. I think the thing I loved about it most was like it tapped into my actual feelings about the pandemic and the stress and the trauma and the anxiety. This was the only piece of pandemic art that I really responded to in a fun and also deeply self-analysis sort of way.
And it's on Netflix, so we could all stream it right away. Tell me about this movie. Matt Damon, Adam Driver, and Ben Affleck.
So Ridley Scott directed this.
Adrian is so excited about it. Ridley Scott of The Gladiator.
Ridley Scott, Gladiator, Alien, like one of the most prolific directors, and he's just a workhorse. Like he just puts out another film. He had 2 films last year, House of Gucci and The Last Duel. Like he just comes out and everything is just so precise and well done. This was an interesting story. Fair trigger warning, like it is about the rape of a woman and told from 3 different stories. So you've got Matt Damon's character, the story's told from him. Then you have Adam Driver, who's his best friend, who assaults his wife, played by Jodie Comer, and then you get it from her perspective. And Ben Affleck is in there just crushing it in the supporting role as this
he had a good year.
Yeah, Ben Affleck. This is a big Ben Affleck household over here. It's a great performance.
I get it.
If you could sit and watch it, and then it ends in a big duel. That was the last duel in England.
UK friends, do you know this movie? Well, Ben Affleck is having a great year. He's playing in The Last Duel. He's playing in the movie that A's going to talk about that he's going to get nominated for an Oscar for. He's Tender Bar. He's playing with J-Lo. He's living his best life.
He really is.
I watched this next movie. I'm jealous. I watched this next movie and I was fascinated. And this is not, Kyle, this is not my cup of tea. But you want to see people act their teeth out. The Tragedy of Macbeth I was riveted. I don't know what the hell it's about, but it was fascinating.
Well, of course, it's an adaptation of the Scottish play by Billy Shakes. And I watched 3 Macbeth adaptations last year. I watched Throne of Blood, which is an old Akira Kurosawa film that takes place in feudal Japan. I watched the Macbeth from about 10 years ago now with Michael Fassbender and Marion
Kenneth Branagh. Oh, Michael Fassbender. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Kenneth Branagh version. And then this one. This one's the most, Joel Coen of the Coen brothers, his first time without his brother. It's interesting. I saw this on my birthday. Oh, very nice. It's streaming on Apple. I think Denzel. It's amazing to see Denzel do Denzel things. Like Denzel, like acting things, like little gestures and tones of voice that are just his, but within Shakespeare. I mean, he's a well-known Shakespeare actor, but I have never seen him. So it was really interesting to see. Could talk about this for a long while of some very interesting choices. Might win best cinematography. Yes, Denzel is everything. I mean, who?
It looks awesome. The actress who plays the witches.
Oh my,
Um,
yes. She's incredible.
That hooked me.
Watch it just for her. I mean,
Samantha here says Denzel's everything. Me and Samantha saw Denzel do Julius Caesar on Broadway, and I'm not judging Denzel's acting because the man is genius, but he finally got Shakespeare right because Julius Caesar was a rough. This was something. What is this? Finally, something upbeat, Kyle. Before we all just, I don't know, bury ourselves in the sand. The Mitchells versus the Machines. Tell us about it.
I do like depressing films. I'll just say, can I just say that outside?
So I get it.
Depressing
fine.
films,
I do too.
make me feel better. Like if I'm having a rough day,
I get it.
I want to see someone getting beheaded because then I'm like, well, at least I'm just here eating Oreos. Like my life ain't that bad. Anywho, there's no beheading in Mitchell versus the Machines, although maybe some robots get beheaded. This is from Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who did Into the Spider-Verse, the Lego movie. They're some of the funniest guys out. They did Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And this was just enjoyable. This is on Netflix. It's a family story. It's about a film geek who has to put up with her family during a robopocalypse. I had so much fun. No. This is serotonin right here. If you need a hit, is the Mitchells versus the Machines. Again, some people get turned off to animation. If you're an adult with no kids, you may not be watching these things, but like this was just a joyous Friday night.
Well, I love Into the Spider-Verse, and I like the Lego movie, so I'm sure it's fun and clever.
Smart comedy works for everyone. No sudden.
I mean, I think this is Don Cheadle's best work since Golden Palace, the Golden Girls spinoff.
It's hard to say, really. I mean, the right one is another, again, hitting on that theme that I was mentioning with Wes Anderson and Ridley Scott, where it's like Steven Soderbergh, Ocean's 11, Aaron Brockovich, Traffic, one of our greatest working filmmakers, puts out like 2 films a year, and they're always just like straight genre films and are just so well executed. So this takes place in the 50s Detroit, and look at the name at the top. It is a heisty setup, backstabbing genre flick, and it's a lot of fun on HBO.
That's a lot of good actors in this movie. Yes, John Garzillo says Don Cheadle was great as Sammy Davis Jr. He was really great as Sam. He's a great actor. I tease about Golden Palace, but I love him. I like him. So this is definitely one that I would like to check out. All right. Before I get to I'm going to skip around, and they put it in alphabetical order. So I really want to see this movie. I asked you about this movie. I really want to see this movie. I want to see Red Rocket. Tell me about Red Rocket.
Red Rocket.
Simon Rex is back.
Simon Rex, I didn't know he had this whole career as like a mock rapper thing. He was also an MTV VJ back in the day. This is from Sean Baker. This is a film about a bad guy, and if you can watch a bad guy, I think there's this debate going on that at least I see on garbage like Twitter about should movies be on the side of their characters, or should they kind of stand back and judge them? This guy is what they call a suitcase pimp. He went to LA, he was in the porn industry, and now he's come back to his small town in Texas and quickly begins taking advantage of his ex-wife by sleeping at her place and sleeping with her. And at the same time, he starts grooming a underage girl. And he's a despicable character. The film will let you know that. But you're watching this person who's very much a part of this country, and the film is set against the 2016 election, and it's drawing very clear lines to that on all sides of like despicable characters, why we're attracted to them, why use car salesmen, to use a cliche, no shade to actual used car salesmen, are why we're attracted to such slimy people and how they can manipulate us.
That's fascinating. And this is not I don't mean it this way. When I was in Los Angeles and I had lunch with Eric Roberts and me talked about, Kyle, about how you have to play a role and not judge the character, that point of view and having that point of view. And I would be fascinated to know how Simon Rex got into the head of the character to find a way to like the character, understand the character. As a nerdy actor talk, I would be fascinated to watch the movie to see how he feels. Speaking of the UK and speaking of controversial films, and a film that I saw, and don't worry, we're going to run long. We're going to just keep going. We're going to spend a good chunk of time with you. Don't everyone stay put. It's late in the United Kingdom, but Spencer.
Yes.
Go ahead. Tell me.
If Kristen Stewart is not nominated, which we'll get to later, but she may not be, it's a travesty. This is one of the most interesting filmmakers. He keeps making these films. His last film was Jackie, about Jackie Kennedy. And there are these portraits of these women who we know, but we don't know. The lens was on them. We think we have a relationship to them. And it's showing them through this dramatic part of their life. It's taking liberties with that story. It really becomes like this horror chamber piece. And it connects us to Diana in a way. And I think it's important when you watch films like this, is like, this is not a one-to-one. This is not a documentary, right? No one's saying this was actually her life, but it's like, take what you know about Princess Di and then imagine that person, what it must be like to be them, the feeling of being them. And this film is going to try and recreate that experience. So it's not a one-to-one. If you want a more one-to-one, The Crown is probably for you on Netflix. And that's a great show. It's very well made. And that's kind of what they're after. This is much more going to haunt you like a movie to make you feel what she did.
It was not what I thought it was going to be. I had the intention and thought that it was a documentary, like more of a biopic kind of story. And then it makes it very clear that it's not, but it is a fascinating, there is no Twilightness in her performance. She's not Bella. You don't get lost in the fact that she's Kristen Stewart. It was a really fascinating movie to watch. Oh, okay. I was surprised at this choice, Kyle Bahl.
What's up? Suicide Squad. I show up, I'm just who I am. I show up to all the superhero films.
Yes.
Just like anyone else. I love them all. This was great. This was James Gunn. It had the great actors. And it wasn't afraid to use them as toys.
Like John Cena.
He's crushing it. He's got the show now.
He
I don't
is.
watch it, but he commits to everything he does, and he is willing to give himself over to filmmakers, which I really respect. He gives himself over to James Gunn to play this character, and he's great. And Idris Elba was great in the center of the frame. We all love Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. A lot of surprises, a lot of good gags and visual bits, and I just enjoyed it, Popcorn film, yeah.
Yeah, but thanks, John. Was Idris Elba as good in this as he was in Cats?
Well, there's no topping Cats in any category across the board. So Robert and I saw Cats.
We saw
the film.
We did opening night, New York City.
The greatest movie.
I didn't see this one
life.
because I didn't see this Suicide Squad because I didn't think the first one was great. So now you'll make me catch this one. And, I'm not the greatest superhero film person.
Yeah,
but anyway, go ahead. Tell me about what is this movie?
Titane. It's the #1 film you'll see this year that features a woman having sex with a car. I mean, if that doesn't sell you, I don't know what does.
How do you know I haven't seen many other films just like that?
Hey man,
don't look at my search history.
I'm watching all the films trying to find them, and this is the one I found. This is a really fascinating film. I just discovered this filmmaker last year, Julia Ducournau. I may be mispronouncing her beautiful French name.
I think it's pronounced Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh yes. Well, then again, we already knew she was a queen. Cannes winner. It's again, show me something that no one else is doing, and you'll show me this film. It's about a woman who is assaulted And then again, so just to put that out there, but quickly takes power into her own hand, but then is in trouble with the law. So she goes undercover and disguises herself as a runaway young man, and then is forced to live with that young man's father and pretend to be this person as she is pregnant by the car she had sex with. A car that she had sex with. It's so French and so great.
You've sold us on the most interesting film for sure. Thank you.
You'll probably watch
Before I bring out A and we talk about the predictions for the Oscars, you have one more film, and then I'm going to bring Adrian out for your last film. Okay. I'm going to bring her out for your last film. But you were writing about this movie. I talked to you about this actor. It's a mammal. Tell us why we need to watch Big.
Nick Cage is back, baby. He really never left. It is believable.
No, he's
about Titanium. Look, here's the thing about Nick Cage. Some people think that he's just been phoning it in for a paycheck the last couple of years. But if you really look at his stuff, he's doing interesting acting work. Like, he's having fun. You know, Bruce Willis does the movies for a paycheck where he shows up, you get him for 6 hours, and like that's it. And he just like grumbles like generic action lines. Like, Nick Cage is doing some really weird and interesting work. Not all of it works for me. This worked. It's actually pretty straightforward. He is a former culinary chef, 5-star chef, and he kind of gave up that life, and he now lives in the woods with his truffle pig. And one day that pig gets stolen, and he goes on a hunt for it through Seattle, I believe. It's one of the most interesting films. It's very, very straightforward. It's a very tight, like, internal performance from Nick Cage. He's letting his beard and long hair and overflowing belly like do some of the work, but it's such great acting. There's some restaurant scenes that are just one-on-one, actor against actor, and it's fascinating. And I think a lot of people get turned off when they hear a little bit about it, but it's I think it's for everyone.
Does the pig search for the Declaration of Independence?
If only. That's going to be the sequel. That's why I have to get him back, because it hunts for truffles. Exactly.
I love National Treasure. No, Kyle, you know, Nicolas Cage, I told him when he sent me the list, I was like, Moonstruck is like my favorite movie of maybe all time. And this performance, he's a brilliant actor. I mean, he gets Lots of Lattes, who's my friend, and I think she's in Delaware or Maryland, right? Maryland. She's your people. Okay, before we bring A out, let me just someone asked a question, and I think maybe you have an answer. Our friend in UK who's been here, Abby, she wants to know, can you post an official movie recommendation list? There is a way you could see the movies he loves. Look, you have fans, Kyle.
Robert was mentioning, I do track everything I've watched. So there's a site called Letterboxd. Letterboxd with no EF before the D. It's a film community. I'm not getting paid. This is just a free ad. I love it. It's my favorite form of social media. And I track, I've logged everything I've ever seen. So I've seen 2,198 films to date. And I make lists. You can rate things. I keep it as a diary. And now I look back and like, what was I doing last year? Especially in the pandemic when we're all kind of like, time is a blur. It's been great to be like, oh yeah, that was the night I watched this. I love it.
I think it's a great. Well, if you want to see, he listed his top 10 films and he's talked about it. If you can find him on Instagram, he's Kyle Bahl. He's at BallPicks, and if you follow him on Instagram, you'll definitely see the movies he's recommended. And he talks about movies often. I wanted to bring A out for a minute. Well, Lots of Lattes is from Annapolis, Maryland. So she agrees with you. I said Delaware and Maryland. She's from Maryland. Let's bring A out here. A, come join the party. A, welcome back to the show. I wanted, when I was thinking about movies,
yes,
I have I thought of you both, and I wanted to have you here for Kyle's last movie because I know it will excite you. So
I'm
it's a
ready.
movie I didn't see. Are you ready, Kyle? Tell us why this was one of your faves this year.
Oh, The Matrix.
I can't. Oh my goodness, Kyle. Oh, be still my heart. Go ahead.
Look, again, another thing where a director is returning to kind of something they've done before, and we're seeing how they innovate with age. So Lana Wachowski not returning with her sister, but returning to The Matrix. Look, it's one of the biggest FUs I've ever seen to the studio that made it. The whole film is very meta. It really requires that you watch the first Matrix at least.
Which I love. I love that about that. You can really tell.
Yes. You have to know that film, and then it helps to know the second two. Look, I don't know if it works like all the way. By the time we get to the third act, it really felt like 3 films crammed into one, like they wanted to do another trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the action is kind of, some people complained about the action. I found it fascinating how she used it throughout.
Yes. And I think with the new characters, Jonathan Groff gave an amazing and very surprising performance.
Yes.
It was kind of one of my favorites. And even Neil Patrick Harris, I was like, they were 2 excellent additions to the film.
It's dealing with the fact that we like actors. The words like red pill has become a part. It came from the Matrix. Now it means something else in the culture in the world. And now it's trying to reclaim that. And what people, it's interesting, you ask people on the street, like, what do you think The Matrix is about? And it was interesting to see her come back and be like, it's about love. Like, all the techno stuff, like, that's all there. And maybe you like the guns and walking up the wall, but this was like a love story at the end of the day.
And even in the end, you know, it really was. And that was, talk about a great action sequence that they really did, which I think was fantastic. Don't want to ruin it for those who haven't seen it, but it's very cool. And I did get to see that in the theaters too, which is nice to see it on the big screen.
Yes.
Well, Kyle and like I said before, here's a picture of the 3 of us when we did the From a Distance video. Before we move on and A tells us about what the predictions are for the Academy Awards and Kyle complains about them, I wanted to show this picture to show you all that Kyle's fans in the UK and Maryland, this picture. Would you like to explain this photo?
Hey.
What?
Oh my goodness.
What is going on here, Adrian and Kyle?
That's
Kyle on set, leaving me and Adrian to be burned as you have an umbrella held for you like you're Diddy, and she's
I can't see the screen. I've got a
Farnsworth
monitor there.
Bentley.
I was assisting Kyle. He needed, you know, he couldn't have the sun.
I only have 2 hands. I can't see
the biggest
monitor
diva
with
on
your
set.
face on it, with your gorgeous face on it, Robert, if I can't see the screen. That was excellent camera assistant. That's how the videos get made.
Lots of lattes. I've seen the first 3 Matrix, and that's 6-7 hours of my life that are gone. But I love that you love them. And look, Abby loves your shirt. Kyle, Abby is just going to
watch more movies.
All right. Are you ready? What category do you want to start with?
I am ready, but hold on a second. Awards? First of all, I wanted to get like a little Oscar and I couldn't find one. So I am the Oscar in gold here. And I have this. I
love the gold.
Yes.
Yes. You'll have to bring it to our next video.
Hold on. I just have to backpedal just a little bit with what Kyle said, because Dev Patel is amazing. And I haven't seen The Green Knight, and it's on my list. And I've loved him since The Newsroom, which was one of my favorite shows. And I can't wait to watch the film from what you said. So I'm very excited about that.
He's incredible in it. Yeah.
Yes. Robert, you can start us off. You can pick whatever we like. There's my
husband says I have to watch all the Marvel films.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with the supporting roles. Tell us about supporting actor.
Okay, so supporting actor, I think this is going to be a fantastic category. I think it's going to be a tough category, but a few of my favorites are in here. It is Ben Affleck's year. I think he's done such a fantastic job. The Last Duel, again, Kyle, amazing film. But The Tender Bar was a really sweet movie, and Ben acts his face off. He really does just such an amazing job. And then Belfast, you have Jamie Dornan, who I love the cinematography of the movie. I love that it's in black and white. It's a beautiful family story set in a very specific time frame. which I think is great. And I think a lot of people should watch it. I think it's a very captivating film. And then we have the fabulous Jared Leto in House of Gucci. He can't do wrong in my book. I think it's great. The Power of the Dog. And I want to get this gentleman's name correct. It is Cody Smee McPhee, if I pronounce that correctly. He does an amazing job. And then I'm going to cry if this movie, Coda, Troy Kotsur, amazing performance. Amazing. Now, I would like to see a possible shakeup. I would love to see Marlon Wayans possibly get a nomination for supporting, because he was amazing in Aretha. I really think he should, that might be a surprise possibly, but thank you, Samantha. I'm sorry. I'm a Ben Affleck fan. I always have been. And I think he's done some really great films. And I loved Argo too, but that was, a long time ago. So those are my predictions there. Gentlemen, what do you think?
Kyle?
I think these are solid predictions for what could be the nominations. Jared Leto playing Mario or Luigi from Super Mario in House of Gucci was incredible. But when he says, there's a line, if you don't see House of Gucci, I mean, you're missing out. It's a lot of fun. But when he says, I want to fly like a pigeon, and I'm doing a spot on Jared Leto in that film. It's really just hand him the award right there. I think the one that's missing for me that I would love to see, probably won't get nominated, Bradley Cooper in Licorice Pizza.
Okay. Interesting film. We'll get to that. That's a little later, but yes, interesting.
I saw the movies that you brought up for this category, and they're all great. I mean, they're all solid. I think this is a good list. I think that's a great list, and I think that someone will win. And that's all I have to say about it. I don't know.
Robert.
My choice would be for Troy, because I really love that movie, and he's deaf, so it's all done via sign language. So the acting is it's amazing, and there's a scene in the movie brings tears.
Well, I will tell you that The Power of the Dog, before we get to talk about that movie, that I mean, in my humble opinion, this young actor is pretty damn is fast. I wish the movie was more about this character. I mean, that's what I thought was missing in the movie. I wish I got more about his backstory, because I was fascinated by him, and it never got that for me personally. But let's talk about supporting actress.
Supporting actress. This is a fun one too. So we have
Ruth is good. I'm sorry.
In passing, yeah, she is she's stunningly beautiful, and her performance is fantastic. Kirsten Dunst, again, Power of the Dog. I mean, everybody's like, bring it on. No, she really does a heartbreakingly beautiful performance. I was really happy to see her in this. I cannot pronounce her name. It's a hard one here. Catronia Balfe, I believe. If I mispronounced it, I apologize. She is the wonderful mother in Belfast, and I think she's beautiful. I loved her acting. She really is really, really great. And this one, I know she was in King Richard. Awane Ellis, if that's her name, just wonderful. And Ruth Negga. I think this is, again, there could be some shifts in it, but I think this is going to be who we're going to see.
And Ariana.
Ariana. There she is. Yes, Ariana from West Side Story. I mean, West Side Story, it's great. It's one of my favorite musicals. It truly is. I think this is a tough category, though. I think they will give it to Ariana. I do believe that, but you never know.
Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a stacked category.
Tough.
Yeah, I honestly, a great category where it's like you're happy to see anyone win, like just great performances across the board.
Exactly. Yes.
I love Kirsten Dunst. Like, I think she's kind of sometimes a hidden gem. She does these like really incredible dramatic performances recently. I think Ariana DeBose might be the front runner here. She was just on SNL. You know, they like to kind of, she's been on Broadway, but once Hollywood kind of meets her, they like to crown someone as their own. I mean, I think we'll be seeing a lot of her. This will be a nice moment, but really everyone.
And then I think with her too, she'd be making history because Rita Moreno, who was also in the film, she's playing her role. So if she did win, that would be pretty amazing. So, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, one place you won't see Ariana is on this show because she has canceled twice on our iterations.
Shame.
But and now she's way too famous to be here. Okay. I think she's probably going to win too, and she's incredibly talented. And I thought that movie was really fast. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was gonna. All right, tell us about Best Actor.
Best Actor. Well, so this is a tough one for me. This is a really tough choice. I enjoy everyone that is on here. Robert, your favorite actor is on here. But we're going to start off with the man, Will Smith. He is wonderful. Robert, you and I actually were lucky enough to meet him, and he was so kind and so nice. He was promoting, I believe, The Pursuit of Happiness, which is a great film. I love that. But in King Richard, he does a phenomenal job. He really, really does. It may be his year. I don't know. I hope it is. I think it's great. You know, and then Peter Dinklage in Cyrano. Interesting film. I enjoy him. I think he's a great actor, you know, and whatnot. And then we have Denzel Washington. I like Kyle, speaking of the Macbeth, it was intriguing. It was, and I understood what you said about his mannerisms, like Denzel being Denzel. Totally, you could pick that up in the film. Now, Benedict Cumberbatch, Robert's favorite. He's great. It's a gritty performance from him. You know, will he win? I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I think he will definitely get nominated for it, but Andrew Garfield and Tick, Tick, Boom. Besides the Eyes of Tammy Faye, Andrew Garfield, I just was blown away by his performance. I was surprised, and I just loved it. He brought such life to such an amazing person. It's kind of tough, but I would like to see Will Smith win.
Kyle?
I too would love to see Will Smith get an Oscar and then see, you know, what else he chooses to do with his career after that. He's campaigning really hard. You know, he put out the biography. Yeah. He's been doing, you know, he has an incredible career. And a lot of times Oscars aren't always given for the best performance in their career. It's given for like the career achievement. This might be that. I think your 5 nominations are pretty spot on. The only one's Peter Dinklage. I think that spot is up for grabs. I haven't seen.
Yes, it could be. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of things out there. I think these are all great performances. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be Andrew Garfield's year, although he had a fantastic year between Tammy Faye, spoiler alert, Spider-Man, and Tick, Tick, Boom, which he was he was my favorite part of that film. So yeah, they're all great nominations. I think we're all just pulling for Will. I think as a country, we need to pull for Will.
You know, and I've been listening on audiobook to his autobiography, and it's very interesting. I a lot of, especially when of him growing up, I didn't know a lot about it, and it's wonderful. And he really loves his family and his mom and his dad, and it's a very interesting to learn about that. And yeah, he's Will Smith, you know, he's the cool guy. Besides Peter Dinklage, the other person, and I don't know, maybe Leo for Don't Look Up. I don't know. I'm not sure. That could be another prediction of mine.
You know, you can't count Leo out, but I think the film's like getting mixed reviews. It didn't go over well critically. Word of mouth seems pretty good by everybody, and it's on Netflix, so you know it's in everybody's home. Right. I just think that 5th spot's up for grabs. Go
ahead.
Oh, just the last thing on Will Smith and King Richard. Great performance in a fine, solid movie. Like a movie that you know, 15 years ago there used to be like 100 of them a year. Now you barely get them. And so it's great to have it. It's on HBO Max. But I wanted a supporting performance. That was it. Like that could have been he could have locked in a supporting actor Oscar.
And he would have won it.
Yeah, he's Will Smith. He's got to be the lead. But also, I think, you know, to tell the story of the Williams sisters, it would have been a little bit of a better film to focus more on that. But he was great.
Well, I agree.
Leo does have an Oscar, though. He did win for The Revenant.
Yes, he got attacked by the bear. I think that Will Smith is it's his year, and I hope he wins, because how can you not love Will Smith? But I will tell you, Andrew Garfield blew me away. I saw Eyes of Tammy Faye first, and then I was like, oh my God. And then I saw him in Tick, Tick, Boom, and I was like, man, this guy he's having a heck of a year. But I'm sure we'll see plenty more movies by Andrew Garfield. And let's go to actress. Go ahead. Oh, my friend Rachel Zegler. Go ahead.
So this is also a tough category. I think this year the women really gave some really amazing and very strong performances. Jessica Chastain.
You notice, Kyle, she didn't put Kristen Stewart up here.
Well, we'll talk about that in a second.
Go ahead. Let's go.
Jessica Chastain, her performance as Tammy Faye is amazing. I mean, I loved it. I was captivated. It was so fantastic. It's on HBO Max if you can watch it. It is really really fantastic. Olivia Colman. Now, I think she's kind of the new Meryl Streep, if I can even say that. The Lost Daughter was a very intriguing movie. But I, like you, Kyle, I love a good depressing film because it makes me feel better. I don't know why. I agree with you 1,000%. And Abby, who said the serotonin, I want to cry. Not that I cried with this film, but I want to feel something. And that's how I know that it's usually a good movie. But she can act, to use Robert's term, act her face off. She is just, I mean, everything that she does. It was really wonderful. I thought it was a very strong performance. I would like to see Jennifer Hudson nominated. We saw the film, Robert, quite some time ago, and then they finally, released it. I would like to see her nominated. I think she did an amazing job as Aretha. I think, and the movie was Respect. It wasn't Aretha, it was Respect. I would like to see her. And then I think Rachel deserves a nomination. I think, I think she did a wonderful, wonderful job. But there's Nicole Kidman. And then there's Kristen Stewart. Now, I'm a Kristen Stewart fan from the beginning, from Twilight. But in Spencer, she transformed. It is a different film than what I thought it was going to be. I agree with you on that, Robert. But I think it's a toss-up. I don't know how it's going to go. It's going to be very, very interesting. And then there's Lady Gaga. Father, Son, and House of Gucci. I mean, I thought she was great, but she could be a toss up too. I don't know. I think it's a very strong and tough category. I think there's going to be some surprises.
Kyle?
Yeah, again, spot on. I think with what it might be, what probably be. It's never about like what it should be. Like we're talking about what it probably will be. I think Kristen Stewart, obviously, as I said, deserves to be in there. What's interesting, as we said, Oscars are not necessarily earned. They're won, and they're won by running a campaign. And like, that's just the way it is. People are out there. That's usually why there's parties, is so that people are going and making friends and getting people like them. And no one is campaigning harder than Lady Gaga. Every day,
really?
Every day she has a new interview and has a clip about, I couldn't stop speaking in this accent. I was channeling the spirit. And the other day she was like, we were going to shoot this sex scene. And she did this. She was trying to recreate some of her magic from A Star Is Born with Bradley Cooper, where there was this like, are they together? Are they dating? Are they cheating on their spouses with each other because their chemistry is so electric? She was trying to do that with Adam Driver. And he was like, no.
Adam is not new.
Was it? I'm an actor. I don't care. Yeah. She's out there campaigning hard. I don't think she's winning for this. I do think she's a solid actress. I'm excited to see what she does in the future. But
well, what's interesting? Go ahead.
I think she may get nominated again. And also I think too, with the voting and stuff, they want to bring in younger viewers. And I think with Rachel, Ariana, you know, West Side Story. They want to bring a new generation of actors in, and you know, that's why Olivia Colman, not that but she is of a different generation and things like that. But Lady Gaga too. Everyone knows who Lady Gaga is. You know,
well, you know,
and even Kristen Stewart. Everyone knows who she is too. And this was such a wonderful role. I mean, I was so thrilled for her, and you know, she was so awkward for such a long time, and I don't think she was happy with and listen, she was, you know, she will always be known for Bella, but this could be the transition for her, and I hope it is. I really do. I do think she's a very good actress, except for Charlie.
Well, in my opinion, Olivia Colman has an Oscar, Gaga has an Oscar, Jennifer Hudson has an Oscar, Nicole Kidman has an Oscar, Jessica Chastain has been nominated 106 times for an Oscar. I don't think that, I think that it's not, in my opinion, I don't think Rachel and Jennifer Hudson both get nominated. I think it splits. I think they're not going to put two musical people out there. And I love Rachel. She's a Jersey girl. She's done a lot of theater where I did theater, and obviously she did it better than me because I'm in my basement with you two. No, and she's getting nominated for an Oscar. But I think it's a really interesting category this year. The actress has absolutely killed the movies this year for sure. So it'll be interesting to see who gets nominated. Let's go to Best Picture.
Okay, so I have to take a deep breath because I'm gonna go in order here. So I'm gonna go in alphabetical order. Belfast. This is one of the first. Well, I wouldn't say the first, but I love a good independent film. I don't know if this is characterized as an independent film. I really liked this movie. It was written and directed by Kenneth Branagh, if I'm not mistaken. It was a really, I don't want to say cute, but it was a heartwarming story of a little boy who is amazing. And his family and you know, the trials and tribulations of a very interesting time. It does take place in Ireland, correct? I wanted to make sure. Was it Ireland or was it?
Yeah, Ireland.
It was Ireland. Yeah, okay. I really liked it, and I liked that it was shot in black and white. I think that brings a character to it. Kyle, you would probably know a little bit better about that than I would, but that's one thing that really drew me to it. I really enjoyed that part of the film in regards to that. Coda, I loved Coda. Maybe because I was in chorus when I was growing up, and just the family dynamic. It's just a beautiful little film that just has so much heart, and I really, really loved this movie. It's probably my favorite movie of the year. I really, it tugged at my heartstrings, and it made me smile, it made me laugh, it made me cry. I really, really enjoyed it. Dune. I did not see the first Dune with Sting and Kyle MacLachlan. I did not see it. This movie is amazing. Cinematic, amazing, wonderful. I loved Dune. It's long. Robert, you probably not a fan. The music is haunting, and the music is a character in the movie, I feel. Timothée Chalamet is fantastic. Everyone is fantastic in this film. And it's Oscar Isaacs. He's had a really good year too. It's just, I really, really enjoyed it, and I would be excited. I would like to see it get nominated. I think King Richard will get nominated. It's more of an actor's film than a Best Picture, but I think, again, because it's Will Smith, I think they'll nominate it. I do think they're going to give a nod to Licorice Pizza, and I think West Side Story will get one as well because it's Steven Spielberg, and it's, you know, they want to throw a little diversity in there, and The Power of the Dog. I think that's going to be a big contender as well. What I would love to see win, I would love to see Coda win because I just think it's such a great movie. I don't know. I think it may go to The Power of the Dog, but I would like Coda, but I think it's going to go to The Power of the Dog.
Kyle?
Thoughts?
So, great nominations across the board. The interesting thing here is the Oscars has been changing their rules. Every year they change the rules, but here it's taken an interesting twist. So if we go back to 2008, The Dark Knight changed the Oscars forever.
Yep.
The Batman film changed it because the ratings were so low. Everyone believed that like this was a prestige enough superhero film why didn't it get in? Why didn't it get one of the 5 nominations? So from then on, they changed it to a rotating between 5 and 10 nominations. If you pass a certain threshold, you would be nominated. So some years it was 6, some years it was 8, and it would change. This year, they've now changed the show. It's going to be 10 films.
Oh, it really is. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So we're missing 4 here. So some possibilities. We've got Don't Look Up.
Right.
Tick, Tick, Boom.
Yep.
Being the Ricardos. Tragedy of Macbeth. Nightmare Alley from Guillermo del Toro.
Yep.
And then you've got, big blockbusters like No Time to Die, Spider-Man No Way Home, campaigning really hard. And then a foreign film that's getting a lot of buzz called Drive My Car. So I think these 6 are like locks. I would say if Spider-Man gets nominated,
I will be very upset. And I'm going to say that I love the movie. The movie was great. But Endgame didn't get nominated. And I feel Endgame should have been nominated. And that still bothers me to this day. Besides Black Panther, which also should have been nominated. But we're moving on.
Black Panther was nominated.
Was it nominated? Okay.
It was a Best Picture nomination.
It wasn't Best Picture. Endgame should have been nominated for Best Picture. Because Spider-Man, this new movie was great. Tom Holland, he is a star. I mean, he's on the upswing here. He's really going to do great things. He's done great things in the past. But just because it made all that money, it's not like Endgame, in my personal opinion. Yes, there were great surprises and all that great stuff, but no. Just my opinion.
I mean, here's the thing about the Oscars that's most important. Like, I watch them every year, throw a party or whatever. Like, it's all my attention. But you have to remember, if you look back at the history of the Oscars, the best film doesn't usually win.
No.
And I'm not saying Spider-Man. I'm just saying, like, it's almost bad to have your favorite film win because it's not a good sign. Sometimes it's great, like Parasite. We all love it. But if you look back through the history, it's all politics, as we said before.
That's why it's called show business.
Right.
Exactly. But as a whole, and I want to ask both of you this, with the pandemic, and I mean, we're very lucky that we did get a lot of films. I think we're still missing. There's something missing from this past year. They're not, also The Last Duel could sneak in there too, Kyle. I don't know. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
With Ridley Scott, I don't know, but I'm missing some, usual. I don't know. I just wish there were more. I mean, I'm because of the pandemic, there just isn't more. I know that. That's a fact. But my bangs are not working here today, guys. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Because I'm missing. And The French Dispatch also great level, great film. I wish, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's tough. It's going to be very interesting. It's either going to be very, like we said, how it's going to be, or there may be some surprises, which I would like.
It's kind of a filler year. Like, there's West Side Story, and it's great, and Steven Spielberg directs the hell out of it, but you could also watch the original West Side Story. It's Dune, and Dune was fantastic, and I loved it, but there's also a sequel coming in 2 years or whatever, 3 years, and it's like half a film. I mean, you have original stuff here like Coda and Belfast and Power of the Dog.
And Licorice Pizza.
And Licorice Pizza, but again, Licorice Pizza, who, we haven't talked too much about, but Paul Thomas Anderson, arguably my favorite filmmaker. A great entry from him. But is it his best film? No, it's There Will Be Blood. Or my personal favorites like The Master. I mean, or Phantom Thread.
Oh, love Phantom Thread.
It's not his best work, but maybe they will. He's kind of a front runner for screenwriting.
Right.
So he may win that, but. Again, it'll be interesting to see. The voting has changed every year, especially recently. So we don't really know, and it's hard to go by anything else.
And Philip Seymour Hoffman's son, who is the lead in it, does such a great job. It took me a minute to kind of get into it. It's a little weird, and I like weird, but I was like, okay, interesting story. But the acting was superb, and it's sweet to see him because I was like, wow, he is a star already. Like, look at him go. It's nice to see.
Well, I'll be the controversial one with my opinion.
Oh, yes.
Bring it, Robert. I love it. Come on.
The controversial, we want my God's honest opinion because no one really cares. West Side Story is a beautiful movie. I don't like that they continue to try to hide Ansel Elgort and his mess. I think he is not cute. Licorice Pizza I love Boogie Nights. I love him as a writer and as a director as well. That's a majorly, in my opinion, flawed movie. The movie has 2 incredibly racist scenes, and it's really uncomfortable to watch a younger guy and an older. I don't like it. I don't know Dune because Dune is a movie that I'll have to watch over 14 days because I'll watch in 10-minute increments. Belfast, I'm friends with the young boy on social media. His family is so sweet. I tried to get him to come on this show. I thought it was very charming, but it was not my favorite movie. And The Power of the Dog is great acting, but it's a movie about absolutely nothing. No offense, Kyle, because it has about nothing. So in my opinion, I like the movies that are a story, but that's just my opinion. So when I see King Richard, or when I see Coda, or when I see Being the Ricardos even, or when I see even The House of Gucci, which is not the world's greatest movie. I mean, it's a fun movie. To me, I'm an old school guy, so it's a movie. Like I want to sit down and see I want to see a movie. So, I love the artsy fartsiness of a movie like Licorice Pizza, but I have to admit, when I was sitting in the back of the theater watching it with my popcorn and my, and I get the movies as a SAG member and I can stream them or whatever, but I went to the movies to see Licorice Pizza. Halfway through the movie, I was like, I could leave because this movie has no story. It doesn't matter when you stop watching it. So I love a movie like West Side Story because it's big and epic and sweeping, but they all have their problems. So
I think that's what I mean. Like there isn't a big movie except for Dune. I consider Dune a very theatrical type of film, but
Abby, you're still up. It's like 4:00 in the morning.
Abby,
why are movies become so long? Because egotistical directors just like to keep shooting.
Wow.
Oh, I love a good long movie. Okay. Give me the extended director's cut, and I'm in.
Why do you think this show is 3 hours long tonight?
People complain about a 2-hour, 3-hour movie, but then they binge watch a new Netflix show that's 10 episodes, 1 hour long each. And they don't notice the difference.
Different.
Because that story ends 21:36. Because that story ends with a cliffhanger every 45 minutes and keeps you locked in. I get it, but
it's written differently. It's a whole different thing. Well, listen, I'll be the controversial one, and I'll get the cease and desist letter from Steven Spielberg, who I'm sure is watching right now. But what I want to say is we'll have to have you both on the week after the Academy Awards. I think it's the end of March, and we'll have a full recap, and we'll show pictures and videos that they'll block from YouTube.
I just want to say one thing and Kyle, we can maybe talk about this. I think though, what shifted is that everyone's on TV. TV is the new thing. Yeah. Everyone wants a show. Everyone wants to be on the streaming networks. And I just want to say there's some really great shows. I think Hacks is great. The Morning Show, Mayor of Easttown, Kate Winslet, love it. Righteous Gemstones, again with Eric Roberts. Only Murders in the Building. But you're right, Kyle. Only Murders in the Building, which was great. It's a half hour. Yeah. You can watch all 8, but there you go. There's 3 hours of your, so yeah, you can sit and watch a movie. It should, but it's got to hold your attention too. That's the other thing. Dope Sick, that was another one. But I think TV is where all these amazing performers are now going because people are home and that's what they're doing. So and that's I don't know, but I think that's what's happening.
No, you're exactly right. That's the goal of the streamers is to take up more of your time. Like Netflix, the CEO of Netflix has said their enemy isn't other channels, it's sleep. It's you sleeping and them not taking more hours of your day to watch Netflix. Mayor of Easttown was probably the best thing last year, across everything. And 15 years ago, it would have been a movie. That's a very clear movie. But now, but now it's a show. And it's a great show, and you watch it, and it's over. But the problem for me with that, and why I go to film, is I will never revisit it. Probably. Sadly, I'll never watch it again.
I agree. Right.
No,
well, the movies, they bring you back because you connect with the film. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
You two can take this conversation off of this. We
are we over the 20 minutes?
The number. The numbers of people watching are just dropping like flies as we just talk endlessly.
Well, thank
and
you,
this will
Abby,
be a
for
6
staying up
hour
with
long
us.
video.
Thank you.
See, sleep is for the weak, she said.
Yes.
See? And everyone loves Kevin Costner.
Yellowstone. Mm-hmm.
But thank you, Abby, go to bed, firstly. You look like a young person who needs to go to school or work, or I don't know what you're doing. And Adrian and Kyle will be back. Both of them will be back to talk about, I don't know, whatever you want them to talk about. The Emmys, the Oscars, the People's Choice Awards, the Razzies.
The SAG Awards are next, I believe.
The SAG Awards.
Nickelodeon.
The Nickelodeon Kid Choice Awards, the ESPY Awards, whatever you want to hear about. That it's Christmas break, Abby. Okay, Abby, good. What are you going to school for? Tell us. And thank you, Abby. She says you have a great show. Thank you too. You guys are movie encyclopedia. So you know why I like you guys? Because you are really fans of cinema. Like I like not smart movies. Yes, the Super Bowl, right? Everything. Everybody, we're gonna say goodbye. Kyle Bahl, follow Kyle Bahl on. You can follow Kyle at Ball Picks, which if I find it here, if you want to follow you can follow Adrian at AMC Getaway. She also will book your travel vacation. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for
having me, Robert.
Abby is a master's candidate in international relations. How about that?
Go, Abby.
We'll see you all real soon. Thank you both for being here. Kyle, thank you. Thank you so much for that list. Everybody, next week we have the gentleman from Ain't Too Proud. Don't worry. We'll spend an hour and a half with them too. And we'll talk about everything you want to know about the Temptations. If you want to be here next week, it's next Thursday. We'll be here live coming up soon. Once again, if you want to support the show, you can Venmo me at @Bannon. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much. And here we go. Would you like to see me singing the national anthem for the Devils? Someone asked to see it on Instagram, so I figured, why not? I continue to promote myself. I'll see you all next week. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being here and making the night fun. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Queen Bianca Del Rio, and the star that is Layton Williams. I'll see you next week with Dominique Patton and the guys from Ain't You Proud. Good night, everybody.
Please rise and remove your hats as the New Jersey Department of Corrections Color Guard presents tonight's colors. And now, please join in the singing of our national anthem performed tonight by Saturday Night Live actor, musical performer, and North Bergen's 5th grade history teacher, Robert Bannon.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner